Here's an algebra problem on solving equations with variables on both sides. So it says using the digits 1 to 9 most 1 time each, place a digit in each box so that the solution is closest to 0. So I think it could actually be kind of useful to guess and check as our first attempt here. So we're just going to pick 4 random numbers. We'll pick 4, 7, 2, and 9. Okay, so now we're going to try to solve this. And we subtract 2x from both sides. And we get 2x. We subtract 7 here. 7 minus 7. And we're going to get 2x equals 2. And so x will equal, we divide both sides by 2. And x equals 1. It's actually not too bad, right? We want this to be as close to 0 as possible. But then the question is, can we get closer? And that begs the reality of, well, guess and check is probably not going to be the optimal method to find that. Like, we're going to have to pick lots and lots of numbers. So if we're not going to do that method, then we think conceptually, like, how do we actually get closer? And what we start to realize is that whatever the difference is between these two coefficients, we're going to wind up dividing by that. And so if that's a greater number, that's going to have a bigger effect on making this smaller. So let's actually kind of think about, like, how would this change if we just change those two things? Now, the 9 and the 9 is going to be a useful number, but we're not going to use that right now. We're just going to leave it where it is just to kind of make a point. So long marker. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to think, what could give us the greatest difference in value? We can only use numbers, the digits 1 through 9. So in this particular case, if we had, let's say, an 8 here and a 1 here, well, now when we subtract, in this case, we're going to subtract 1x from both sides. Now we're going to have 7x. This is still going to be 7 minus 9, or rather 9 minus 7 is going to give us 2. So we're going to have 7x equals 2. We're going to divide both sides by 7, and now we have x equals 2, 7. So that's much closer. And so we really get to this wondering of, like, what do the values that we pick for the digits, how do they, for the digits of the coefficient or the constant, how does that actually affect the value of the solution? So it's an interesting problem just to get kids thinking about, like, how do the choices that they make affect the value of the solution? So let me know what your students come up with in the comments. I'm really looking forward to it.